Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our IndyCar career mode here on the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. Today we take on the streets of Detroit here for 25 laps at Belle Isle. This is the old circuit, not the new one from 2023, as iRacing, just quite simply, does not have it. Now, we're coming off of a career best top 10 result in the last episode in the Indy 500, where we impressed throughout the month of May at the Indy Road Course with our best road course effort, and then of course that top 10 in Indianapolis for the 500 there in the last episode. Now, I'm actually commentating this just after the Indy Road Course IRL, where we saw Scott Dixon hold off Graham Rahal, who was absolutely flying towards the end. I had to have the most of the race up in the background because I was recording NR 2003 during it, but it looked like an alright race. Of course, some early lap, opening lap controversy there with Palou going around and Newgarden getting involved as well. But let me know what you guys thought of that race if you watched it. I thought it was pretty good. The Xfinity race for NASCAR is about to start, so that'll be an exciting one as well here now. But yeah, getting acclimated with this track. Detroit, very, very technical and difficult circuit. We would get ready for qualifying though after I was pretty happy with the way practice went. Now, remember last episode at an oval where I couldn't get the laps for qualifying and it was a timed session? Well, now the 2 laps qualifying ended up happening for Detroit, so I actually turned it to the time session. So it seems like the settings for qualifying that you do don't take effect till the next race, which is really weird. So not much we can do about it, but now we can try to use that for the future. But here I am, my first of 2 laps in qualifying. This would be my only lap though, and you'll see why momentarily, but I was pretty happy with the pace in the car. We were qualifying on the black stripe tire, feeling like I'll be a lot better if I can put the red stripe on and charge late in the Grand Prix. That's kind of the goal here, but really a fun track to drive here in Belle Isle now as we go under the Auto Trader sign through the left-hander now in a very complicated section right here. Got to be very careful on your throttle control. Double left-hander that goes into a very heavy braking hairpin here to the right, and then we just hard on the gas down towards these final couple of corners, and we're gonna head down this front straightaway through a bit of a curved right here that leads you to the start-finish line. We crossed the stripe and we went P10 for the time being. Very happy, and I knew there was more pace in the car, so really going quick, but right here out of turn 2 I hit the wall and that invalidates my lap and ruins it, so that's gonna put us in a really rough position for qualifying after having a lot of pace. Newgarden on pole, and yeah, we end up the second to last in the qualifying, so way down the order. As Ericsson DeFrancesco, your 500 winner, up there in the top 5, a great effort for him as we were ready to go racing. Herta, Rosenquist, Kirkwood, of course. Kirkwood and Rosenquist currently the top 2 in points battling for the championship. We'll have the points update at the end of the episode. 25 laps of racing. The fuel window, we can go really anywhere between like 15 to 18, 19 laps on fuel, so a 1-stop race, depending on, of course, when you come into the pits. Joseph Newgarden, though, set to lead the field to the green flag. We are underway here in Belle Isle. Ericsson on the outside of DeFrancesco, Herta, Rosenquist, Kirkwood, Award as well in the background now as we continue on, and we are going to see a very fun race, I think, here today. Now, such a tight and technical street course now. It is going to be so easy to make errors from these drivers. There's not a lot of margin for error now as here I am passing David Malukas up the inside now of Connor Daly as well, going for the overtake. So we've already gained 2 positions now. We've got Callum Ilott there just in front of us as well as we try to settle in on, like I said, we're on the black stripe tire to start things off. A lot of red striped options here that these drivers have gone with. Of course, they'll have more grip, more speed early on, but they'll have a lot less life in those tires, of course, than we're going to have in the black striped, of course. Now, so settling in here on this opening lap, I didn't want to get too aggressive. I wanted to get aggressive in those first few corners, of course, to get what I could, and honestly didn't gain as much as I would hope and had expected, but overall we still made a gain, so I can't complain too much. But now it's more about, okay, back it down, just get into a rhythm, and then of course the more you get into a rhythm, the more you can attack. An easy overtaking opportunity here on Callum Ilott. We're gonna go up the right side. He outbrakes us there, but we're gonna just absolutely sail it off into the right-hander, and we take the position. So we complete lap 1 and make a net gain of about 3 positions here as we were on now the back of Elio Castroneves. Remember that battle we had on the final lap lap with Castroneves back at the Indy Road Course there a few races ago. That was absolutely epic. Definitely my favorite battle so far of this season. We've really started to clean things up in this career mode as well. Indy Road Course, no errors there. Obviously, Indy 500, a great drive there. And so far, if we can keep things together today, that would be 3 straight races of just really impressive drives that will give us hopefully good opportunities going into season number 2 of this career mode. I'm really eyeing up hopefully an opportunity to race for McLaren for season 2. We brushed the wall there on the exit of the corner using one of my push to passes. Of course, in iRacing you get 10 of them to use now, so we were just trying to stay within range here of Helio Castroneves, now lap 5 of 25, and you can see us closing. We've got good speed in this car. It's just difficult sometimes to overtake here with just how narrow this track is here now. As you can see him, you got Rinus VK as well just in front of him now, kind of holding us up a little bit now. So really just waiting for the right opportunities now, as you can see through the hairpin, really closing in on the back of Helio. Now would stay right with them all the way down through turn 1 and 2. This is going to be a good opportunity here. This is the closest we have been on the exit of turn 2. Push to pass on up the inside of Castroneves as we head down towards the braking zone, closing in quickly on the back of VK. We'll clear Castroneves on the exit of turn 3 and take 22nd place now as we are on the back, as actually up in the top, Joseph Newgarden, the leader, is headed into the pits, and it's because he's got damage. Newgarden has hit the wall while leading this race, and here's an onboard camera shot of it, and he locked up a little bit. Oh, right into the wall he goes, and apparently they consider that too much damage to continue on. He's still in the race. He's on the lead lap. He got back out relatively quickly, but that would give the lead to Marcus Ericsson, Herta, Di Francesco second and third as well. So we'll see, of course, if Ericsson can maybe hold on to that lead, unlike what Newgarden did, making a big error there. As you can see, Kirkwood, they're putting a lot of pressure on the back of the McLaren as we continue on. Now trying to close in on the back right now of Rinus VK, and you can see that gap closing as I have a bit of a slide there out of the right-hander, so that's going to cost me some time. Currently 8 push-to-pass options available here, so we were continuing to just save those towards the end of the Grand Prix, but closing right back up on the back of VK, I was starting to really find my rhythm. A huge gain right there. It looked like he almost stomped on the brakes. He's struggling hard. A really tight corner to stick the nose up the inside. I used the push to pass to play it safe and make sure we're just ahead. So down to 7 now. But lap 10 of this Grand Prix up into the top 20. But we have a lot of time to make up 4 seconds between myself and Benjamin Peterson. But I'm confident. We've got a lot of pace in this car. We may have started in the back after that second lap screw up in qualifying, but there is pace here, and we are proving again, I think, if this race goes green, that we belong in a good IndyCar ride now, of course, as you can see, coming through towards the end of lap 10. The gap still 4 seconds, obviously, until we cross the line. We got problems in turn 1 and 2. That's turn 2, where it's Kirkwood has gone around a dangerous location at high speeds. That's going to force the caution. IndyCar throwing a full course yellow. Kirkwood, who was behind his championship rival of Felix Rosenqvist, has gone around, and it looked like it was all by himself. Here's a shot of it. He goes wide in turn 1 and loops it around. You saw the back end kick out, and around he goes. He somehow doesn't hit anything, but the cautions because of the fact that he stopped there right in a high-speed location. We would see split pit strategy. McLaughlin comes in, and the front 3/4 of the field stays out, and myself and everybody behind except for Canapino and Newgarden, who have already pitted, are going to come in. We will be taking 4 fresh tires. We are switching to the red stripe. It's right at the midway point of this race, and then we'll put some fuel, of course, in the car so we can make it to the end. Now, this is going to cause problems, potentially, this caution, and I'll explain it as we go. We are the 4th car out of the pit lane. Not too bad. Right behind, I believe that's Callum Ilott in front of us as a yellow is out. But let's take a look. So Scott McLaughlin had issues, and that forced him into the pits, and watch this right here. He's going to nail the wall, similar to Newgarden, but a lot more significance on that hit. He's going to lose 2 laps. He was in the pit lane for a few laps there under yellow, so his race basically over. He will still be running, but we're getting ready to go back racing. It's going to be 12 laps to go here now as we are back underway. So Marcus Ericsson is going to lead the field down towards turn 1. A great launch right off the bat there in front of Colton Herta. Both of those drivers, of course, on the red stripe tire now, is Rosenqvist right in front of Alex Alex Palou. As you can see, the driver rating changes are starting to finally work, it looks like now, as we continue on. There's Newgarden going for an overtake there. I believe that was on Benjamin Peterson. Herta going for the lead, and sorry, Herta's not on the red stripe. He's on the black stripe there. Maybe a bit more life in that tire now. He goes around the outside. A bold, aggressive move that works and puts him in front, looking for his first win of the season. DeFrancesco and Rosenquist, third and fourth. I just made a pass right there on Callum Ilott, but now I'm going to talk about an issue that is going to bring out a forced caution from myself. So the caution came out at a weird time where the AI are basically going to get screwed on strategy because iRacing doesn't know how to code their AI strategy, apparently. The AI should have pitted under that caution. Obviously, we saw 3/4 of the field did not. They could make it to the end from there, but this is a common issue with iRacing AI when there's a field window kind of caution that comes out, as I'm going for a move again on Helio Castroneves, but basically iRacing just screws the AI's race over. They'll pit and they'll be way behind, and sometimes it can cause them, if it stays green past that, to pit again for whatever reason with a lap or two to go. It's really weird. They like get screwed over once and then it screws them over a second time, and I don't know why it does it. But basically what that means is once this pit cycle from everybody that has to pit gets cycled out, I will forcefully throw a caution to fix that and make sure they don't pit towards the end of the race in the last lap or two to where I like get a free win or something, because it's basically it's like a bug. So here I am up the inside again of Renus VK. We're on the red stripe tires, so we know a caution is going to be coming. It sucks, but just because of iRacing's own error, it is going to happen. So now I'm just trying to find as much time as I can, because we don't know when these AI around us are going to pit for the first time, of course, now. But we're up into P19 or P18 now, and actually you can see up top Scott Dixon, Armstrong, Grosjean, they're coming into the pits now. So like I said, once everybody's done their pit cycle is when we're going to throw the caution, and that should fix the issue towards the end of the race, and hopefully they won't pit with a lap or two to go. So we are going to gain a bunch of positions. We might be in the top 5. We are going to benefit no matter what, a caution coming out or not. We would benefit greatly because we pitted under that last one. We're going to be in the top 5 likely when this all settles out. Augustin Canapino right there in front of us. I think he's a car that can go to the end of this race because he pitted before that first yellow. And I think Joseph Newgarden, who hit the wall while leading, is going to be able to make it to the end. So he might be actually leading this race again. More cars pitting as well, and I think there was one more cycle of cars to go through before we can throw the caution. So Devlin DeFrancesco, fellow Canadian, Indy 500 winner from the last episode, would now take the lead, but he is going to be part of the last group of cars or two that have to come into the pits here momentarily. So you can see myself closing in a little bit here on the back of Canapino, running P14, but we're about to gain a whole bunch more positions because DeFrancesco is about to lead another one of the final moments of waves into the pits, and here he comes. He's going to bring the 2 McLarens in as well, and everybody, you can see, yeah, everybody's just going to flood in. And McLaughlin's back on track. There's Alex Palou, and yeah, like I said, everybody except for Newgarden, Canapino, myself, and everybody else that pitted under the first caution that came out can stay out. We are good to go to the end of the race here. I ran one more lap just to make sure it was all cycled through and done and dealt with. So we would stay out here. I'm trying to close in on Canapino, but I was starting to struggle. So I know we don't got pace to go run these guys down in front of us, but we know that caution is coming, so it could be a reset to kind of cool the tires. You can see, look at the gap between myself and Canapino at the end of lap 19, coming to lap 20 now, over a second and a half, 1.7 to be exact here, a little bit wide out of turn 2, scraping the wall there. Fortunately, I back out of it and hit the wall square enough to where it actually doesn't damage the car at all, but the caution will come out now once I knew the cycle had completed, so this should fix the AI stupidity on strategy, and it won't make the end of the race stupid where everybody decides to pit with like 1 or 2 laps to go, because I did have that happen, this exact scenario, in a test run before this. It sucks, that's what we have to do, but it is what it is. So caution is out. We are in 3rd place with 5 laps to go. I know for a fact I don't have the pace to win this race. I'm impressed that Newgarden and Canapino are still out on the track considering when they pitted, but it looks like they will have enough feel to make it to the end of this Grand Prix. So it's going to be interesting. Newgarden has essentially won this race, potentially, by leading the race, hitting the wall, knocking the front wing up, and now he's in position to win again. So Rinus VeeKay starting right behind me there in P4. A lot of unexpected names up here because of the dankness with the AI in the situation we're in, but Newgarden will lead the field back to green. P3, 3 laps of racing here in the streets of Belle Isle in Detroit. A big run on the back of Agustin Canapino. We know on these colder tires this is going to be our opportunity now. Push to pass, engage here as we head down the straightaway, but not close enough to even make a dive bomb here. I could go for it, but I feel like it'd be silly to go from that far back. So on the back of Canapino, VeeKay there in the background, Kyle Malott as well, going for an overtake now. As you can see, I mean, look at the Auto Nation. It's pink and black everywhere here in these first few moments of this restart right now. You got Pagano, you got Elio Castroneves, you got Kyle Kirkwood, who's rebounded in front now of Rosenqvist. So a big gain there after he self-spun earlier in the Grand Prix. Roman Grosjean of the inside of Palou. Palou, of course, has gotten the short end of the stick of this strategy error, as well as Grosjean. Willpower as well, as you can see myself settling into this third position. Do we have anything here in these final couple of laps for Canapino? He goes a little bit wide right there. Allows me to gain about a car length maybe at most as we continue to close this gap here through the double left-hander. I, by the end of this race, was loving every second of this circuit. It is such a fun track. A track that's not far away from me, of course, of where I am in Canada. It's only about, I don't know, 4 hours here now as we continue on with the push to pass again, going for an overtake. Newgarden, long gone here. Now as we go wheel to wheel, and Canapino is just going to outbrake me right there into the right-hander, so we're going to have to stay put in behind him. He leaves the door open briefly. I show my nose. Not enough bravery in myself right there now, as I was kind of more on the let's just hold on to third, but if the opportunity is there, of course, go for second now. As we approach the final lap, we do have 2 push to pass remaining, so we are probably going to use them both up here and try to strategically use them. I was thinking of saving one for the final straightaway on the final lap. White flag in the air, no pressure from behind. Rinus VeeKay continues to hold on to fourth. I go wide there on the exit, so using my push to pass now, we got 1 more remaining, and you can see the gap between myself and Canapino right now. Too much to, of course, go for an overtaking opportunity, but still, he goes defensive, which every time they go defensive like that, it just allows me to close in, but I caught the grass with the left wheel, so that allows the gap to open back up a little bit more again. Joseph Newgarden is about 4 to 5 seconds ahead of us at this point. He drove away, and what a story for Newgarden in what has not been an easy season, mainly because the ratings, and now they seem to be corrected pretty well. But here he is, you know, having a usual moment this season for him, you know, hitting the wall, something going wrong, but at the end of the day, has actually helped him out in strategy and has put him out in front and has allowed him to drive away on this final lap. We had a career best effort in the Indy 500, but if we just hang on for these final few corners, that will change to a career best effort in the streets of Detroit. We will absolutely take that here today now as we continue to impress in this 51 car. Joseph Newgarden is going to come through to win his first race. 2023, we will get a career first podium alongside Agustin Canapino here. We will absolutely take that. What a race, what a day here in Detroit. And, you know, aside from the actual Canadian Grand Prix, this would be the closest home Grand Prix to me. And wow, what a day. Like I said, obviously, because of the dankness with the strategy, that's what allowed us to get P3. I think realistically a 10th to 15th place effort is probably where we were going to be. Here's the finishing order on your screen right now. You know, really unfortunate for Rosenqvist, who thought it was looking like he was going to be a threat there to gain some points on Kirkwood. How about Malukas in the top 10? DeFrancesco there, the Indy 500 winner, inside the top 10 as well. Here's the points. So Kirkwood ahead by 38 points right now over Rosenqvist, who's tied with DeFrancesco. We currently find ourselves 15th in the standings after 3 very respectable runs here back to back to back. That's going to do it for me. In the next one, we head to Road America, a staple on the IndyCar schedule, so I'm very excited for that one, and hopefully we can have once more some success in the IndyCar career mode. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a great day.